Hey, I'm on the edge of my seat here, back again with another brand new video, and today I'd like to say Happy New Year's everyone! As 2025 barrels towards us all, I believe many of us are enforcing forward many different styles of resolutions. I should hit the gym more, I should finally read Dune this year, or I should finally make that Patreon. With 2025 in mind, I would like to share with you all every video idea I have in mind for 2025. I hope most of these will prove interesting, and I would like to see your favorites out of all the ideas. To start, let us travel back in time. In July 2024, I went to Anime Expo in LA and visited the Essence of Fandom event. Along the way, I took multiple videos and photos of the places I went, the cosplayers I met, and the rookie mistakes I committed. So in topical fashion, I am still nowhere near done with this video. I should have finished this one a year ago! But I am confident I will wrap this up before 2025 ends, because if I don't, Lord help us all. I'm struggling with making this one because currently I don't really have a script. This one was going to be more of a vlog, a day in the life, given that I only went Saturday to the con. A lot of the video is just photography of multiple cosplayers, and I'm working on making that interesting. I just hope I hold on to as many specific details I had of that day before it is all complete mush in my head. My target goal is to finish the video before January 6th, because on January 26th I'll be arriving in Utah to visit the Sundance Film Festival. Before flying out to a completely new place to visit one event to make a video on it, I will finish my previous project about flying out to a completely new place to visit one event to make a video on it. This style of ranking video I've done before with the 2023 Chicago International Film Festival, so check that one out to get an idea of what I plan to make. Sundance will definitely be my most ambitious film ranking yet. I'm pretty sure I will see around 20 different films to rank, plus I have to deal with the extreme cold and local. Using trailers for my previous videos is a copyright nightmare, so not sure if I'll experiment with a new style for this video, but I am very excited to take this all in. Late January to early February. I think I hold a unique position as one of the older fans of the Yakuza franchise, which is weird to say because I'm not that old. I wasn't there in 2005 with Yakuza 1 on the PS2, even though we were both born on the same day. In fact, I didn't start playing any of them until 2016, so I'm still a newbie compared to the real original Dragons. Thing is, I got into it while the franchise was in the transitional period from being kinda low-key to exploding in popularity once Yakuza 0 dropped in English. How I got into playing these games, and how I went about it, I found interesting, so I wrote a 51-page script about how I got into Yakuza around half a year ago and never returned to actually make that video. Oops! I would like to finish this video sometime in 2025. Not sure if I'll do it, but it should be possible. Also not sure when in 25 I should... Here is a classic top 10 list. A good chunk of the YouTube videos I saw back in the day were top 10 videos, and one that has been in my mind recently is Peanut Butter Gamer's top 10 games to take to a deserted island. It's a fun concept, like actually imagining being on a deserted island, a hot beach with some kind of cave with like a CTR TV setup. My goal with my video idea is to not rip off Peanut Butter Gamer. That's why it's in a cinema. New aesthetics, new ideas. Is Rainbow Six Siege improved by the theater experience? Fuck no! I think this video could be completed in 2025. My only worry is I fear I haven't played that many video games. Like, I have, but I also haven't. You know, like I've beaten Deus Ex, but I haven't beaten any of the Uncharted games or Lamando. Or Lamando 2. Yakuza 5 is one of my all-time favorite Yakuza games. It is in my top 3 of the franchise. It is also one of my all-time favorite PS3 games. As such, I really want to 100% it on PC. Another appealing aspect of the Yakuza 5 100% is that it still feels like the most massive game in the franchise. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll be fun, but once I actually complete that 100% after the hundreds of hours it will take to do, I will feel like I actually accomplished something grand and legendary. I played a video game a lot. Also, doing this 100% will help me with other Yakuza videos I want to make. Like, the long battles in the Yakuza franchise are mostly very terrifying. Most of the games all individually have some bullshit section that will make tackling all the long battles a nightmare. Yakuza 1 has Lau Kao Long's level. Yakuza 2 has the railgun section. Yakuza 3 has Lau Kao Long again. Yakuza 4 has the briefcase with the unskippable cutscenes. Fuck! Yakuza 5? From the perspective of someone who hasn't tried the no damage, I gotta say, doesn't seem too hard. I'll still struggle, and I'm sure there's some bullshit that will blindside me, but for my next long battle no damage, I will focus on Yakuza 5. It has some really awesome levels, and with my dope PC, I'll record some really clear 4K footage of the whole thing. I've already done videos on the boss fights of every Yakuza game twice! So my goals are mostly with the long battles now. Gaiden's lack of New Game Plus. Majima Gaiden, I swear to Davy Jones, you better not pull that scallywag shit again! The Kiwami rant is one of the most defining videos on my channel. It's one of my first videos to pop off, and I think it sparked a huge conversation. One problem: the audio is ass! I still stand by a lot of what I said in the video. I liked the screaming, but there was zero reason for me to let the audio hit the red level multiple times throughout the video. I don't want to remake the video, but I did want to make a sort of follow-up. It's been many years since it came out. More games exist now. Maybe a certain game would arrive that would solve nearly every issue I had with the Kiwamis and address its Lost Judgment. I want to do a big positive rant on Lost Judgment. I've had this idea for a few years, but I've been too lazy to commit to it. In 2025, I think I can finally bring this rant to life, though the new releases in this franchise are really complicating my grand thesis, especially that fucking! Here is a video I really didn't want to make. Throughout my playthrough of this semi-Kiwami, semi-not version of Like a Dragonician, I found multiple small issues in comparison to the original that all compound on top of each other that ends up delivering an experience that is slightly worse than the original in almost every way. That's the problem with this idea though. It's only slightly worse, and the rest of the game is exactly the same as the original. It would be a much more pedantic video than my first Kiwami rant, so I decided against making it. I do get the general impression that people want to see me tear this remake a slight cut on the thumb, so in 2025, after finishing my Lost Judgment rant, I might make this video. This concept came to me while I was watching GC Vasquez's 30-minute Lost Judgment roast. I disagreed with a lot of the video, but the section that stuck with me is his complaints about how the scenes are mostly blocked in a boring way. If you don't know what blocking is, it means the placement and movement of actors in relation to the camera, choreographing their actions in a scene before shooting. Yakuza 3 has a lot of this blocking. So does every movie ever made. It made me realize that there isn't a single video dedicated to talking about the cinematic presentation of the Yakuza franchise. At best, you'll hear a reviewer mention a short, vague thought about it like, Yakuza 2 has a noir style, and they don't fully go into what part of the shot composition, editing, mise en scène, etc. adds to that style. In isolation, that's fine, but it would be really dope if someone actually made a video specifically about this subject. I don't know if I'm fully equipped to make a video like that, but I would love to make one exist. I will preface this by saying that when I tried to find a video of this style months ago, I didn't find it. That doesn't mean this video hasn't been made and exists under my radar, so maybe someone has already beaten me to the punch. I would still like to make this video sometime in 2025, but I would not be surprised if this gets pushed back to 2026. This idea is pretty basic, just came to me while I was bored. If I actually did attempt to create this video, it would be a Herculean task. 50 different placements is a rotten dick of an undertaking. I have to ask myself really tough questions like, which movie is number 34, and does The Dark Knight still deserve a 10 out of 10? It's fucked! But I do love my movies, and I think y'all would appreciate a varied list of suggestions. I would like to make this, though not sure if it will make an appearance in 2025. I gotta be honest, I don't think I'm a real clout chaser at all. My view farming is at an all-time low because how the fuck did I not drop a video on that Amazon Yakuza series when it came out? Before it dropped, I had delusions about how I would marathon the whole thing and release some epic video about it. It came out and I couldn't give a fuck. I'm typing this now, and I still haven't seen a single episode. By this point, I don't think a video just on that series will cut it for me. There was also the 2007 film and a stage play and the prequel film that was included with the original Ryuga Gotoku game in Japan. No solid ideas with this video aside from maybe I should make it. No promises. I am almost done writing the script for this video when suddenly this idea comes to me. Wow, I have seen so many TV shows that start with B. Breaking Bad, Beef, Better Call Saul, Full Metal Alchemist, Barry, The Bear. This video is never getting made. In 2025, no damaging boss fights is still the name of the game, so here's a collection of my future targets for combat. In 2024, I finally played through and beat the main quest line of The Witcher 3. It's my homie's favorite game, and he gifted it to me for my birthday. over 5 years ago. Once my birthday hit this year, I started playing it, and a week later, The Witcher 4 was announced. With all this forward momentum, a video on it isn't out of the question. The only issue I find with it is that the combat is kind of boring. I should preface that I had a lot of fun with the combat, but the footage of every boss fight I think will get boring for a multitude of reasons. I found a lot of the fights boil down to reskins of other fights, a lot of the bigger monster brawls make the parry mechanic completely useless, and the parry just kinda sucks in general. It's fine, but every time I land a successful parry, the reward afterwards is so limp. You just push the guy back a bit, which lets you get in 2 extra hits that I might as well have just spammed attacks anyways. The feedback on it doesn't feel great either, especially with some of the unique parries against certain boss fights. There's no crunch to it. It feels like I glitched them out to perform an animation related to something else. The other issue is this game is long as fuck. It will take a long time to do every boss fight in the game. I also want to preface that my complaint comes after 80 hours of game time where I was really engaged in the narrative and cast of characters. I do really like this game, and I know I won't be short of topics to mention for my commentary. I should complete this task in 2025. DLCs also maybe in 2025. Yarg! It will be a rare sight for me to miss the release of a new Yakuza game. Of course I'll be one of the first people trying to no damage every main story boss fight in the game. Yarg! I just really hope those juggles don't have that whack-ass time limit for Gaiden. And New Game Plus, this game better have New Game Plus! And you don't you fucking dare try to sell it as DLC. I'll sink your ship and pour oil on your graves, you rotten devils. The main reason I haven't made a video on this game is because back then, when I bought it on PC, my strongest PC was the Steam Deck. The recordings were complete fucking garbage to the point I got so mad I gave up on doing it at all. In this current day, I have an actual, honest PC capable of recording footage that doesn't look like complete shit. So, while not a huge priority for me, it should be complete in 2025. This game is scary as fuck. It is one of my all-time favorite games, and the hoops I need to jump through to no damage all the boss fights on the hardest difficulty will burn me alive. Before even starting my no damage run, I would have to beat the game multiple times on all the other difficulties to gain enough money and XP to unlock every skill in the game to equip Dante to the max for the no damage run. By that point, I would also have to equip myself with the endless amounts of style tech discovered by the community of some of the greatest hack and slash gamers alive. I'm not going to be able to do all of that crazy shit, but I want my video to be stylish on some level. The game is also very, very hard in general, which will make for a long and brutal trial of pain and glory. I gotta do it though. This game is awesome and I want to do the rest of the series along the way. Could be done in 2025. I've had fun with the original God of War trilogy, and I have never played the new one with the new camera mythology. This entry is also quite controversial, and I would like to see for myself where I stand with it. And along the way, I'll make a dope no damage video. Enough said. Maybe in 2025. This game's combat is kind of ass, but fuck getting first place in all the races. The game designers listen to developer tips from the ghost of Hitler's past when creating some of these. Web swinging is awesome, but I can't do it, man. It's too much. I'll settle for no damaging the boss fights. I just want to make a video showing off probably my favorite art style in any Spider-Man game, period. This is one of the coolest looking games around, but fuck those races, man. Speaking of ghosts, I first saw this game when one of my cousins was playing it when I was around 9 years old. I wouldn't encounter it again until I was finally a legal adult. I want to beat this game. It looks awesome, but I never committed to doing it. No damaging all the boss fights would be the natural course of action, but a small part of me is considering no damaging the entire game. Only doing the boss fights will make a video that's only 20 minutes or so, but doing the full game will create a 2 to 3 hour long video. I'll see what I commit to in 2025. My first no damage videos were on the Yakuza games, and the first game series I did after Yakuza was No More Heroes. A franchise that back in the day was semi-famous for being one of the only M-rated titles exclusive to the Nintendo Wii that kicked ass. Mad World shared a similar spotlight, and it's an experience I've been dying to go through, I just never did. Like No More Heroes, a huge draw of the game is its memorable flashy boss fights and distinct art style, making it one of the perfect subjects for one of my no damage videos. I should bang this out sometime in 2025. A very dedicated fan of my channel has been commenting for 40 days straight recommending me to no damage the boss fights in God Hand. Sadly, I have been caught up with multiple projects, but I should be able to get it out without forcing this brave soul to wait over a year. Oh! This is one of the all-time classic cult hits that's popular enough for me to know about it, but not popular enough to have a modern port available for all to play. There is a digital release on the PS3, but I have a dream to own an original PS2 copy. Too bad it's $100, but if I'm gonna play this classic, it's gotta be on original hardware. As such, that dream has delayed my making of the No Damage. I also got the impression the game is hard as fuck. And from what I understand, it has an adaptive sort of difficulty, kinda like Kid Icarus Uprising, which I find really annoying for no damaging on the hardest difficulty for boss fights specifically. My no damage process is slamming my head into a brick wall until it breaks. Systems like adaptive difficulty keep replacing the wall with softer materials every time I hurt myself. It doesn't work for what I do. It's a great system in Kid Icarus because it ensures players don't spend an entire week on one part of the game. But I am the guy who will spend 1 week doing that part of the game. All the developers have done is add more steps of bureaucracy I have to step over to do what I actually want to do. Not sure if this also applies to God Hand, that might be talking out of my ass with this one, but this game has always looked awesome and I would love to spend $100 sometime in 2025 to start working on the video. As the years go on, I worry about the state of my attention span. I have left multiple projects unfinished as I jump to do something else that caught my eye. Here are the no damages I must return to in the year 2025. I left this one to die because the beginning section is too fucking hard. I'm doing my no damage of the game between save points, so I have to no damage whatever section is in between each save point. The beginning stretch between the first save point before entering enemy territory and the next one requires so much bullshit it made my head hurt. I had to learn the perfect stealth route for the first area, and then after that you have to manage a linear gauntlet of aggressive ass enemies, some of them with rocket launchers. It goes on for a decent bit, then you have to navigate a jump scare section, and from my memory, by then, you'll have a save point. I was bummed out by that point so I dropped it, but I really want to do the other Resident Evil games, but I can't leave this run to die. I gotta finish the fight in 2025. I no damaged one level with all the characters and I haven't done the rest. The Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil is one of the most fun zombie survival games I've played, especially with Resident Evil 4's combat system on the Nintendo Wii. The pointer controls are a godsend and it would be dope to finish off the other levels. I don't have a fucking clue if the final level is actually possible to no damage with Leon. That shit is bananas, and I haven't seen any videos online of anyone no damaging it, leading me to the belief that it is indeed impossible. I also want to no damage the Mercenaries mode in other Resident Evil games, especially in 6, but instead of doing all the characters in one stage, I'll choose my favorite character in all the stages. Not sure if this will be in 2025. This video has been 90% done for over a year. I've no damaged every single super boss, including the fuckhead Ice Titan. Shit took me a week to no damage, but I finally locked in on that ice prick. I only have one more super boss to no damage to finish the entire video. Now how bad could that be? This fight is impossible to cheese. You will not beat this guy on good luck. The only victory possible is by being excellent at the game and fully understanding the boss and learning to perfectly execute every attack opportunity given. Every opportunity is short, and whiffing your attack by a millisecond will result in getting fucked. Some of the all-time greatest Kingdom Hearts players, like Will JV2, estimate that this dude is the hardest challenge in the entire franchise. You are not going to avoid his huge combo by getting lucky. You have to learn the exact timings of every block, dodge, and jump required to remain unscathed by silver locks over here. It would take me 1 week or up to 1 month of fighting this guy every single day to finally put this one to rest. In 2025, that may finally come to pass. No damaging the Splinter Cell games was a really weird curveball on my part. They don't fit the boss rush style of my previous videos. The series doesn't have many boss fights. Despite that, I wanted to show my love for the game somehow, so I did a full game no damage walkthrough of all the mainline entries, except for Double Agent. What gives? I bought an Xbox 360 copy because I heard the PC version sucked, and then I never played it. I kept on hinting that I was going to no damage it, but never did. In 2025, I might finally close this loop for good. as long as you ignore the Game Boy Advance versions. Despite releasing multiple compilations where I no damage all the boss fights in the Metal Gear Solid saga, the MSX games were never included because I never no damaged them. Sadly, at the time, my fans vastly preferred the Roblox 6 no damage. These are really scary games to go back to because I basically had to use a walkthrough for almost the entirety of the first Metal Gear. Metal Gear 2 I found a lot more forgiving on that front, but it comes loaded with some awful sections. I have no fucking idea how I'm going to smoothly no damage the swamp section, because back then, the only way I got past it was watching a walkthrough at 0.25 speed, and going pixel by pixel to ensure I didn't fuck it up. It's evil. However, it is also evil to leave my Metal Gear Solid No Damage series incomplete for this long, so coming forward in the brand new year, this gene must be completed. I never took STEM, so this metaphor is beyond me. 2025 will also have its fair share of full game no damages. I have a lot of games in mind, but not enough time in 1 year. Let's go through all of them. Famous acclaimed Vine star Chibiki has been recommending me to no damage Parasite Eve for years, but one small issue always held me back from it. I wanted to own it physically, but it was kind of expensive, so I always held off on playing it. But in 2024, I bought it for $68, and now I can finally hold off on playing it until I want to. But then, I finally started a walkthrough of the game, and in 40 minutes, I found out you can't use a PS2 memory card to save in a PS1 game. Oh, okay, so I can save my progress at certain phones. Just calling hotel reception here. Memory card has not been inserted? Shut up, man. I have a memory card inserted right now. Ugh. My PS2 is backwards compatible with PS1 games with a memory card? Nope, you're fucked. So I had to end the stream knowing I will repeat the entire beginning of the game again. The good news is I went to a retro game store and got a PS1 memory card, and now finally I can start a walkthrough and no damage this game sometime in 2025. I am still on a quest to have a video yapping about how awesome the first 4 Silent Hill games are, thus I still have Silent Hill 3 to no damage. Not much to say with this one. I'll be playing the PC edition because I got a copy physically for $20 back in the day. Good luck trying that now. Should definitely release in 2025, probably before Halloween. I have a commitment to no damage Silent Hill 4 given that I spent $200 for a PS2 copy, despite that GOG has a PC version for much cheaper. Fuck! Owning one of the Silent Hills on original hardware is awesome. I wish I could do that with the first 3 without going over $1,000. This no damage is also the scariest out of the first 4 games. That second half is infamous as fuck, and this game actually has inventory management. And there's sections that require specific movement to avoid damage. The apartments get real scary in certain sections. Oh, and the ghosts. Ooh. Oh, in 2025. Oh. I am not immune to brand new shiny things, so while lying in bed, I gained an urge to buy and play the Silent Hill 2 remake. I have my qualms with the very concept of remaking Silent Hill 2. The original is a masterpiece that still doesn't have a solid modern port, and the company that owns Silent Hill probably never will be able to make a great port because they already fucked that up on the 360 and PS3. Remaking this game reads to me like remaking the Mona Lisa, and the discourse that surrounded this was kind of obnoxious. Suddenly, after 2 decades of being well regarded as a fantastic game, the remake drops and I'm seeing think pieces about how the original was actually shit all along, and actually it was never that good. Just a miserable pit of vipers. Obscene negativity mixed with a toxic positivity just makes shit awful to engage with. After actually playing the game, I would say there wasn't really any reason to make it, but I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not as blown away as some of the early 10 out of 10 reviews that came out, but there's a lot of fantastic stuff in the game. Also some drawbacks, which will be fun to discuss in a no damage video. And once I do end up doing the no damage, I'll be using the brand new Game Plus feature, which lets you put on an evil Kiwami filter over the game. I should complete this in 2025. Deus Ex is one of my all-time favorite games, and I would love to make a no damage video, but when it comes to making these style of videos, I kinda want to know if anyone else has done it to prove to me that there is a basis for the challenge being possible to do. Deus Ex is a weird game. You can take damage in very unfortunate ways, and when I typed in Deus Ex no damage into YouTube, I couldn't find shit until I found Seradoc's damage list run. Haha, new way to name a no damage run, okay. Hopefully that video will provide a solid route to run through the game unscathed. Also on modern PCs, Deus Ex can be pretty glitchy without mods, so I'll have to fix that. Would love to present this lovely game in 2025. Oh yeah! No damaging Sonic Adventure is a nonsense idea. It's only here because I'm replaying it recently because I never actually beat it as a child. I beat every route except for Amy's, and I lost a save data I had for that on the GameCube, and I was playing the GameCube version, which is widely considered the worst version of the game. Oh yeah! But that was a childhood classic for me. Now I'm playing a modded version of the PC port, but I'm not doing this no damage time any soon. Oh yeah, this is not happening! Despite being included with my no damage ideas, this is not a no damage video. It's so far my only long form damage video series. This game mode isn't well suited to no damage at all, so instead I went for a middle ground approach of reaching a high round. For my new Call of Duty Zombies video, I'll do a map from either Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2. Nothing fancy, I'll just throw a dart and see what sticks for me. This game is here because I bought the entire trilogy on PS2 and I haven't played any of the games. Not sure how well suited they are to no damage, but this is a classic series I've been wanting to jump into for the longest time, but not a huge priority in 2025. I don't want to no damage this one. Something about Resident Evil 5 irks me. The co-op nature stresses me out too much. I don't want to coordinate with another person to record no damages. The workload upsets me. And if I play alone, I'll have to contend with the shit partner AI. So I'm not even sure if it's possible to no damage by yourself. Eventually I'd like to do it because this game is really fun aside from the shit ass final chapters. I'll be doing a good chunk of the other games in the franchise before hitting this one up though. As a 9-year-old, I had a solid concept that I was not allowed to play mature games, but there were two particular ones that I really wanted to play. Those being God of War 2 and House of the Dead 2 on the Wii. Many years later, I bought God of War 2, and many years after that, I no damaged it for the channel. Only recently have I acquired a Wii copy of House of the Dead 2 and 3, but this isn't about 3, get the fuck out of here. To make my 9-year-old self proud, despite his shockingly shit taste at the time, I must no damage House of the Dead 2. One of the classic rail shooters. As such, I am worried this will be tough as nails. I hope this is going to be completed within the year 2025, but this project is a bit more gonzo, so not sure if I'll commit to it. It is fun returning to games I have an actual history with. It makes me feel special that I played one of the top 10 most popular games of all time that millions upon millions have already played. Ah, fuck off with the self-deprecation. Fuck off! Super Mario Galaxy is awesome. It is a certified childhood classic and I would love to no damage it. The issue is, how the hell am I going to structure this video? The game has a non-linear structure if you're just going for the main story, so maybe I should do all the stars, but if I do all the stars, the video is going to be 8 hours long. Ah! And I don't want to do only the boss fights. That's not the main appeal of the game. The boss fights aren't really bad, but it's not enough. The main joy of the game is the platforming, the level design, and the boss fights don't show that in its entirety. This video would be really neat to make, but it might be an extraordinarily ambitious undertaking. This galaxy might be too big to no damage in 2025. I have a confession to make. The only Naughty Dog game I've beaten is The Last of Us. I did buy the entire Jak and Dax trilogy a few years back, but I have not gotten around to actually playing them. That didn't stop me from hinting that I would do a walkthrough of the game someday in a community note, but alas, I haven't yet. Jak and Daxter is but one of the many broken promises that I can conveniently unbreak when I feel like it. Here is a childhood classic that I played as a kid for 3 to 4 hours, and I got stuck at a really early part of the game, so I dropped it and never picked it up again. I fuck with this game's vibe heavy though, and the paint gimmick is awesome. It would be dope to make a sort of no damage video on it to show off this neat little project. For some reason, Warren Spector of Deus Ex fame was involved with the team that made this. I don't know that much about this game, so I don't fully know how good or bad of an idea no damaging Epic Mickey is in 2025. I don't think it is happening that year. Now, here's an idea I have always wanted to tackle for years. In most of my older Yakuza boss fight no damage videos, I'd include Amon as one of the bosses. Over the months and years, I had gathered a decent collection of conquered Amons. I even went back to my fake no damage of Kenzan Amon where I got clipped, but I excused it because only the heat bar went down. That was fake as fuck of my part. But I went back and actually did it for real this time. No hits, nothing lost, and actual no damage. It was painful. It took me over a week to do that. As I kept moving forward, I sought to be the first person to make an all Amon's no damage video. Truly, nothing could stop me. Except Asian Amon! Fuck! This is what we could have had! This is what we could have had! This is what we could have fucking had! But Asian, being the woke shithead that it is, thought it was too fun! Fuck! There is truly no good way of fighting him without being fully upgraded, and even when you are, it's fucking boring!
He's not fun to fight and you have to grind an absurd amount to attempt recording a video of any decent time frame. Fuck! I hate Ishinamon! Rottenamon! Rotten game! Ungrateful game! Rottenamon! Ishinamon! I hate this game! I hate this game!
But in 2025, I will give it an actual honest try this time and suffer the consequences that come with it. I was thinking about streaming my process so as to not have a channel drought during these times, whether that involves grinding or doing all the sub-stories again for certain games. Ishin Amon, of course, isn't going to be the only obstacle. Some of my older Amon no damages are kind of shit. They have no style, no swag, no nothing, bro. I'll probably keep some of them, but I plan on redoing a few. I have my eye on Yakuza 6's Amon. I can't let Pius Lee down again. He believes in me. There's also the Amons I haven't made true no damage videos on. I still have to fight Juzo Amon in Lost Judgment normally and not in the Gauntlet. I haven't done Gaiden's Amon yet, and Yakuza 7's true Final Tower Amon is maybe probably impossible. At this point in time, I believe no one has made a video where they no damage every single Amon in the franchise. There's definitely people who have no damaged every single Amon and uploaded them all as their own separate video, but not all of them as a 2-hour compilation. Yet. No specific time frame for this one, except it would be swell to finish this sometime in 2025, because then I can also make an all Amons ranked video. My other video ideas that also depend on me replaying through nearly the entire Yakuza franchise could get in the way of this one, be warned. I just found out I promised I would review the movie M because I went back to watch my all Yakuza games ranked video, only to find another broken promise from nearly half a decade ago. This movie is fantastic. It is from the 1930s. A review of it isn't in my current interest, but it's an oldie. It's a banger about a child murderer. Go watch it! This revelation worries me because what other promises have I made that flew under my radar? Oh, I did promise something else in that video. I believe it was... No, I don't want to do this one, no! But it is a fantastic idea, and it has been a really long time since my previous story summary, and I did record over 300 gigabytes of Kenzin footage precisely for a video like this, but the Yakuza 0 story summary took me like 2 years to make. Mind you, I was still in high school, but I don't even know if I'm equipped to analyze Kenzin's story. Fuck! But once I get over my bitching, this would be a banger video series to create, but fuck, not anytime soon. Most people know nothing about this game, and unless RGG Studios steps up, it's gonna stay that way for a while because I am not gonna fix this anytime soon. Don't wait on that. I have some regrets from my Kiwami rant. I have mentioned some of them in passing beforehand, but there is one section that came back to haunt me. I talked at length about my issues with Kiwami 2's combat, and I still stand by what I said. But when I discuss Kiwami 1's combat,
combos, there is a lot to dig into once you have a fully upgraded Kiryu. There's so much insane tech to pull off with the combat, just from its core systems. This is a massive improvement over 1's combat. It isn't a better version of the original game's combat, it is just a superior combat system altogether. It's loads of fun. Anyways,
what the fuck am I talking about? That is the most vague statement I could make on the matter. It upsets me that I didn't know or didn't have the language to fully explain why Kiwami 1's combat system was dope, or any of the games for that matter. What if someone made a video discussing the combat design of every game in the franchise, noting the unique aspects of each game, but also how each game continues from the previous one with enemy design, level design, so on and so forth? Would be a cool video, but I don't know if I'm fully equipped to make it. I feel like I need to take a game design class and play some other games that have their code in the Yakuza franchise like Spike Out, Virtua Fighter, Sonic the Hedgehog to fully capture a great analysis system. Are you, the viewer, a YouTuber? Well, if you are, a brand new feature available to you might not be aware of. Introducing AI Inspiration Ideas. Here are just a couple of the inspiring ideas YouTube's AI has graciously bestowed upon me. The algorithm has told me this video idea will do Dave and Busters for my channel, and that fans would love to see me. Yakuza series, no damage, boss fight comparisons. Do you agree, fans? I love horror. I read sometimes. This AI tells me to combine them together for I'm on the Edge of My Seat horror book review. The algorithm tells me that absolutely no one will fuck with this idea. Wait, what the fuck? Why would you make this the second suggestion? Did they program the AI to be stupid? Is this an algorithm for ideas that don't bang and suck ass? I mean, seriously, what the fuck? I can't say I ever made a Yakuza cinematic trailer with I'm on the edge of my seat commentary, but I did make a trailer for the 8th entry in the Roblox franchise, so be sure to check that out. And don't forget to like I'm on the edge of my seat reactions to popular YouTube videos like Charlie bit my finger.
I mean, you kind of had it coming, right? Okay, this guy's a little cheeky, though. He's got a bit of a cheeky fucker, isn't he?
Sus heat action.
Alright, here we go. Something's a little off about this gameplay. Alright. This is Kiwami 2. This is obviously a modded walkthrough. This is a modded walkthrough right here. He's using mods. Chat, he's
This
free, but I
heat
really like
action
the reuse.
sucks.
He's really smart and intelligent, and... Oh, that's fucking tragic, man. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. My condolences.
Mabel the mini pig.
For looks, do I know that?
That is not a fucking mini pig! That is not a fucking mini pig! I have to do this to live! I have to do this to fucking live!
And
Watching this
who
video
wants to
on
gnaw
my
on
screen
human
right
bones?
at this moment, me personally, I would not find the act of gnawing on human bones favorable at all. It would be a disgusting and immoral act. I believe the person who made this appalling movie must be found, and we as a community must take a stand and place this sinner in the bronze.
In the far future, I'm on the edge of my seat may complete this video suggested to him by YouTube's Inspiration AI. Isn't that wonderful? My channel has grown tremendously fast. It is in times like these that I should reflect on it, as to not forget just how much of a blessing this has been. Thank you all so much for subscribing to the channel and enjoying my videos. Being at nearly 12,000 subs is something that seemed insanely far away 2 years ago. I can remember back when I had 3K subs, and I made a promise that I would rank all of Kanye's albums. At almost 12K, I still haven't done it. This is also indicative of a bigger issue with my channel. My vision was that every time I reached another 1,000 subs, I would make another ranking video. I have only made 5 ranking videos despite the fact that I have more than twice the number of 5,000 subs. And in 2025, I aim to correct this mistake, and here are all my current ideas on that. I am a huge Kanye fan. I forgot exactly when he started to click for me, but I've listened to almost the entirety of his discography. I could sing around half of his songs, you know, like I gotta testify, come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Or his song about the car, you know, the one goes like, it was the best of times, the worst of times. You struck a match and blew your mind, but I didn't mean it. Or you know the one about working out, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and get those sit-ups tight and do your crunches like this. Or the really famous one, you know the one about... Before this, I ranked all the Fast and Furious movies despite the fact that nothing on my channel at that point ever hinted that I would do that. So ranking all the Kanye albums was the next goal. Thing is, I got self-conscious about it. Do I really have the language to provide interesting insights into his music? Would my takes be too surface level? Are my placements even correct? Should I re-listen to those albums? Yes! Even if I was correct, I would have to re-listen to the albums, which would have been a big time sink. The scale of the project scared me, and I went back into more familiar territories. I think this is sort of a blessing in disguise, because currently this idea is more interesting because he's dropped multiple albums in the span of time since then, while also damaging his public image in multiple ways. There's more material to work with, but I also want to say that there was plenty beforehand. Kanye's career is legendary, and in 2025, I would like to pay tribute to it, for better or worse. So in college, I went to this thing called art school, and mostly focused on studying film. As such, I'm big on David Lynch, a famous director of surreal dreamlike films with a big focus on Americana and women in trouble. You really have to watch his works to get it if you haven't yet. He's definitely one of the most influential directors of our time, and also joins Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, Wes Anderson, Stanley Kubrick, and Edgar Wright in annoying random people who got info dumped on their freshman year of college. That was me. I'm dumping info on you now. I have seen every single one of his films, so I started ranking them all and scripting the video. I stopped once I had to actually review each film and found that I didn't really know what to say about most of them. I had to rewatch basically everything he's made to solidify the rankings, and the time investment to perform that threw me off the whole progress, and the no damages quickly took center stage, as they always do. I did make a Twin Peaks AMV no one saw. It did spoil the entire series, so I mean, 2025 will be a great year to rewatch his filmography. Stay tuned. I haven't made many ranking videos on the Yakuza franchise. I keep throwing myself at topics people don't watch, which is necessary to do sometimes. I gotta have variety, but this new year the scale is unbalanced. I gotta weigh in the dragon. The climax battle modes is one of the biggest tragedies of this series, starting with Yakuza 6. 6 onwards didn't have this mode at all until like Lost Judgment. Having an absurd collection of challenging missions and a boss rush mode is an awesome post-game reward. It's not perfect, some of those missions are aggravating, but it gives you more to do that isn't inside the main game. I find it really fun, and they offer fun that for the most part isn't really available in the base Coliseum. That is, when the games don't also get rid of their Coliseums. Despite their departure in the modern games, there are still a lot of these modes, and ranking all of them will be a fun trip down memory lane with each game's separate combat system and unique quirks. There are some other topics I am more focused on, but this video should come out in 2025.
This is the most insane idea out of everything in this video. Every Yakuza game has more than 10 chapters, but say that each game has 10 chapters. There's 21 games in this franchise, and we're getting close to 22, or even 23. 21 times 10 is 210 chapters. And remember, some games in this series have 21 chapters.
It's only Yakuza 5,
But the ranking is going to have a lot more than 21 spots.
well, fuck yeah, it's gonna have more than 210 spots.
The making of a criteria of ranking each one is also an absurd task.
These games aren't non-linear, but they are still open world.
There's a lot of optional content, which means some chapters, some players only did so-and-so, but maybe other players spent 50 hours on that chapter alone dissecting every piece of side content. Do I only rank them by their main story beats and cutscenes? That's not entirely honest either, because typically the big tutorial sections have some of the biggest punches in the narrative, but they're not exactly the most fun of replays given how much time is wasted on teaching stuff you already know. What if one chapter has really fun gameplay, but also the worst story reveals in the game? What if the opposite is true? And how do you do this for over 210 different chapters throughout an entire franchise? The answer is you don't. And that's why nobody has made this video. That's the appeal of it though. Nobody has made this video. This would be a daring and unique idea that, if done correctly, could blow up pretty large. It's also an interesting analysis challenge. What exactly makes one chapter of Yakuza better than another? This pursuit could also reveal what exactly you like better in some Yakuza games over others. This idea is perfect for someone to rip me off and steal the fame and glory that would come with it. If you really wanted to do that, it would be pretty easy. I am in zero rush to start this. I'm preoccupied with other videos I'm making in 2025. Also, if you're gonna make it in tier lister, then I'm not worried at all. My video is gonna be fully edited with a script and music and effects for every single 210 chapters with cutscenes and gameplay, and there's gonna be more than 210. Yeah. My first ranking video was ranking all the Yakuza games. Very fitting. This video came out 4 years ago, and it is 2 months away from being 5 years ago. A lot has changed. This series is en route to have 6 new games to contend with and rank, and my opinions have shifted in a few slight areas. I have also grown as a video creator. I'm a better editor now. I have a better mic, and I'm in a better position to make a better video, and I feel I have a lot more to say now. I don't want my summaries to be as brief as before. I want to convey more nuance with my discussions of each game. This video is also one people have been asking for quite some time, and it's one I want to tackle. I have been replaying the franchise through my walkthroughs to familiarize myself with the games again and redo my rankings. This should be a project en route to release in 2025, as long as the studio doesn't announce anything crazy after the Majima Pirate game. Yakuza Online still isn't going to be included. This idea is only here because around 9 months or so I alluded that I was going to do it. I have zero idea what the fuck I was going on about. I too am shrouded in mystery about my own statement. Throw a dart at some of my previous suggestions in this video and it was probably that. And that is my New Year's resolution for my YouTube channel in 2025. Now I have spilled out my plans. Let me know which ones you're most excited for and also which ideas to connect to which months. Because some of my video ideas, I know which month I'm making it in, but others, it really depends on my situation at the time. Still, let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all then in the year 2025. Peace out.